Iceland is a fabulous Mars analog. You look at the rocks under your feet, and if you come at it with a curious approach, there is so much that is there to learn.
We have a team of over 30 scientists here who are exploring the amazing terrains of Iceland and making planetary exploration by kind of truly understanding how processes work here on Earth. We can extrapolate that to other planets too. The main mission for SWIFT, which stands for Southwest Iceland Field Team, is finding planetary analogs here on Earth.
Tell me when. You want one more?
Let's go one more, yeah. I'm David Burt, part of the SWIFT mission. We're here at Lake Kleifurvatn looking for carbonates and some other carbon-rich species. We don't understand how the carbon cycle works on planets and planetary bodies beyond Earth. Iceland and Lake Kleifurvatn as a whole provide a really nice analog. We've got our team gearing up and almost ready to go. We're visiting a third hydrothermal vent today, and we're gonna be swimming out to that spot and seeing what we can find there.
For me, the exciting thing about being on trips like this is being around the amazing scientists and unraveling the stories together. And so I had a team of 5 of us or 6 of us out here today, and everybody's opinion matters. We had everybody from an undergraduate all the way to senior scientists who were helping out. I'm Mike Thorpe. I'm an assistant research scientist at the University of Maryland and NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. We're at this region called Stora Laxá, which is in the southwest region of Iceland. It's a river that is kind of carving through these basalts that were laid down by volcanic activity. So our goal is to kind of look at the change of like how you go from sediments in a stream to kind of a sedimentary rock and what happens in between. It's really important because those rocks are widespread on the surface of Mars. If you look at the Curiosity rover, which has been exploring Gale Crater, it's pretty much by and large seen only sedimentary rocks. And so like we are now having a more fundamental comparison by looking at these. We'll walk along this, probably go down and walk along it.
This is weird, right? What the heck is this?
No, it gets weird when like
What?
volcanoes are involved. Like your eyes can sort of follow some linear.
They're widespread on Mars. I mean, it's the majority of, it's almost all what Curiosity has looked at is rocks that were formed in a lake, in rivers. We just don't have sedimentary rocks from this kind of source. This source rock is basaltic in nature. And so it's just like, but really as one-to-one comparison as I've come across compared to other field sites that I've been. So excited to get our hands on it.
We're pulling a mix of samples here. We're getting gases, we're getting fluids, we're getting sediment core samples. It's called the Heart, in part because of its shape. It's a relatively shallow spot. You've got CO2-rich bubbles coming up out of this loose sediment, and we're gonna be swimming out to that spot and seeing what we can find there. There's a ton of information to be interrogated here. What does life need to operate? We want to take systems like Kleifurvatn to help us understand what those element cycles might be like. And we're particularly focused on carbon since that happens to be one of the big species, the big elements that underpins life as we know it.
We came across the perfect outcrops for me. We were seeing these kind of siltstones to mudstones, so they're really fine-grained material, which are perfect because those are deposited in like a lake environment, so a very habitable environment. This is super exciting for me. This is, I mean, we've been looking at sedimentary rocks that have been formed in similar processes on Mars, and it's remarkable now to be like holding something similar in your hand, and it teaches us so much kind of what the rover's been exploring, but it also prepares us to be exploring the surface of Mars one day in person. And whenever we get our geologists, our astronauts up there exploring, I think it's just, we really need to have this ground truth, and it's really cool to be holding a piece of information like this.
The plan for those samples, we want to do some X-ray diffraction work, so that'll tell us what minerals are present and in what abundances. Dissolved organic carbon, dissolved inorganic carbon. I'm an isotope guy, so I'm going to be looking at the carbon and oxygen isotopes of the system. Part of our plan is to bring a lot of these samples back so that we have extra material in case we arrive in the lab and we realize there's a complementary measurement that we hadn't considered coming into the field, and that way we'll have spare sample that we can use for that. I come back to the idea that the average landscape around us can tell us so much about the world we're currently living in, the history of our planet, and other worlds as well.